It feels like a vice around you that's just tightening, that won't let go, and it just gets tighter and tighter
All
as
right,
you
who
go
do we have
on.
here today? What's your name and what's your age and where are you from?
My name's Tracey Powell. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I was raised in Fresno. I'm 28 years old. Just a little bit about my background. I was physically and sexually abused by my parents growing up. It led to me, after getting out of the military, starting to use methamphetamine and fentanyl. I am still currently a user. I'm trying to get off of it. Trying to get into methadone program. It's just too expensive at the moment.
All right, so you mind if we speak on the sexual abuse that you said? Can we
Yeah.
touch on that? So how did that start and who was it by?
It was by my dad, who sexually assaulted me 3 times as a young child.
And what happened with that?
My dad got locked up. He eventually got out. He tried to get back into my life, and I refused to let him, simply because he had already sexually assaulted me 3 times. And it's just been a grueling fight. It's too much for me to handle, honestly.
And how did that affect you as a child growing up?
As a child growing up, it affected me in the way of, like, I was secluded and antisocial. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to be touched.
And so when did things start going downhill for you?
Shortly after I got out of the military, I got through a divorce, and everything spiraled out of control and just snowballed and went downhill. I started using dope, and just it kept spiraling down from there.
And so how'd your mom feel about the sexual abuse and everything like that? What did she have to say about that?
My mom divorced my dad, and God rest her soul, she passed away 3 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
So so what was your first introduction? What was your first introduction to drugs? Like, what was your, like, did you get peer pressured into getting high, or?
I wasn't peer pressured into getting high. I went out looking for something to make me feel something other than the depression that I was feeling. And I started asking around, and somebody pointed me in the direction of meth, and I got heavily into that, which led me getting into fentanyl and heroin.
So what was the first major mistake you made that changed your life besides the drugs?
Going to prison for the escape charge I caught.
And can you give us a little bit of context on what led to prison? And
I got a reckless endangerment, and they had me in the halfway house, and then I left the halfway house because my son was being born, and I left without permission, which caught me the escape charge. And I just recently got out of Goose Creek Prison up here in Alaska for doing that escape.
And how much time did you do on the escape?
I did 3 years.
3 years? Mm-hmm. Are you currently homeless?
I'm currently homeless, couch surfing at my buddy's apartment at the moment, trying to get back on my feet.
Okay. What's the worst thing you ever been through out here?
The worst thing I ever been through out here was I got jumped and robbed at gunpoint by 6 different Samoans.
Was it a drug deal going bad? What happened?
It was a drug deal gone bad.
You like to explain?
I went to go purchase some Fetty, and the dude had said that everything's going to be okay, and then some people rolled up with guns, and fucking next thing you know, I was getting beat, and I held a gun to my head.
Any bones broken or anything like that?
I had 6 broken ribs, a broken wrist, and a broken arm.
What's something you did in your past that you regret?
I regret not listening to my mom as much. I regret running away from home at a younger age. I regret starting drugs. I should have just stayed clean.
What does addiction actually feel like when you're going through it?
It feels like a vice around you that's just tightening, that won't let go, and it just gets tighter and tighter as you go on. It just gets worse.
So what do you do to survive out here?
Out here, I boost. I hit licks if I can. I do runs for people to try and make money, and I panhandle.
So you said 4 different things that you do to hustle without saying dates and things like that. Can you give us an example of each of
Last
those?
week, I went and boosted some steaks and sold them to a store. Panhandling,
Basically,
standing around flagging a sign and asking for people to donate.
what's the most money you've ever gotten from panhandling in a day?
The most money I've ever gotten from panhandling in one day was about $50.
50 bucks? And how many hours did you spend doing that?
13 hours.
13 hours? So have you ever thought about, all right, maybe if I go to Labor Ready or something like that and go work for 13 hours, you could have made more than 50 bucks? You ever think about doing that?
I have. I don't have an ID at the moment. I'm trying to make the money to get an ID so that way I can go to Labor Max
Yeah.
and do day labor.
Have you ever had someone close to you die because of the lifestyle you're in?
Not personally, not yet. I've had friends that died because of it, but other than that, no one.
Do you yourself fear dying because of Fetty?
I don't.
No?
I moderate it so much that I don't fear death of it.
So what's the difference from you and somebody else that does Fetty that, like...
I moderate and I don't let it control me the way I use it.
What's the hardest part about being homeless that nobody talks about?
That society looks at you as a different species, is not even somebody who's human. They see all homeless people as vagrants. That is just nothing but a nuisance on society.
And how does that make you feel?
Like dog shit, to be honest.
Well, I can guarantee you, I don't look at you like that. There's no difference. What do you think caused you to become the person you are today? Your choices, your environment, or both?
Both.
If you could go back to the day before everything went wrong, what would you do differently?
I wouldn't have started drugs, and I would have stayed working in order to provide and continue to pay for my rent.
What's something you're proud of that people would never expect?
Serving in the military.
Yeah? And that's honorable discharge?
Yes, sir.
Respect that. If you woke up tomorrow with a clean slate, housing, money, everything handled, what would you do with your life?
I would get a job and I would hold that job and pay for my rent, housing, and food. I wouldn't fuck it off. I would just, stick to my guns and fucking stay sober.
So they say people are ready to quit until they're tired of being tired. Are you to that point yet?
I am.
So you're ready to get help? Question.
Yes, sir.
What's the closest you've ever come to dying?
When I got jumped.
That was it? All right. So do you have any people, any bridges that you've ever burned that you intended to cross again that you're like, okay, this person is done with me, period?
Not yet, and I don't intend to. I intend to keep positive and keep, from doing people wrong.
So you have anything to say to the young men and young women out there who's thinking about getting high or being peer pressured into getting high?
Don't do it. It's not worth it. It ruins your life. It absolutely fucked mine up.
So is there any truth to saying I can only hit it one time?
No, sir.
Appreciate that, man.